Greetings, class. Chris Haskins with the realestateroundup.com. Welcome to another flip tip. My goal is to pour into you to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing. And as always, subscribe to my channel here. Take a few seconds, go down below. Our goal is to get 10,000 subscribers in the next 30 days. I'm at 5,000 now. It's been unbelievable as our subscribers go up daily. My best day so far was 125 subscribers. So thank you for tuning into my channel. I got my paper here. I'm missing something. Let's get right to it, guys. All right, today's training is going to be the 12 deadly time wasters of real estate investors. The 12 deadly time wasters of real estate investors. This is going to be great stuff because I've learned this over the years since 2004. The good thing about my videos is I get to cram in years of wisdom and expertise in a few minutes to give to you. Oh, I know what it was. I'm gonna put my timer. Oh, there it is. I gotta have my timer rolling. I get to pour in years of investing experiences and just situations that have happened to me and give them to you in a few minutes, and you get to just suck it all in, and hopefully you'll be blessed by my information. Let's get right to it. Okay, the first deadly time waster is what real estate investors do is, what we don't do is we don't cut grass. We don't cut grass. We don't do landscaping. When I had a home investors franchise down in Dallas, Texas, David Hicks, one of the CEOs of the company, We Buy Ugly Houses, I was down there. We did a 1-week training where I met these people. These guys are big time investors. They've been doing this business since the 1980s. And he comes in the training classroom with us, sharp guy. And he says, guys, the first thing I meet this guy, he's a CEO of a big company. These guys are doing millions of dollars in loans and transactions all around the country. He says, I don't want to see any of you guys cutting grass. We don't cut grass. Real estate investors don't cut grass. Why? He says, I want to tell you why we don't cut grass. Business people don't cut grass because, first of all, you got to get ready to cut grass. You got to change clothes, put your work clothes on and get out there. You got to work cutting, pushing the lawnmower back and forth. And that could take an hour. But the main thing he told me was, after you cut grass, then you're stinky, you're sweating, you can't go back to doing business, right? So you got to change clothes, you got to take a shower, you got to get all back in tune to doing business, and that could take maybe 3 hours. So David Hicks told us, one thing we don't do is cut grass. We hire that out or we sub it out. You can probably get any yard cut. An average yard is going to be anywhere from $30 to $50. Get the yard cut and you can be out doing business, making money, as opposed to doing something, pushing drudgery, and you might get hurt doing it. So first thing real estate investors do is we don't do landscaping or we don't cut grass. Now this isn't generally speaking, once or twice, I'm not going to be mad at you because I'll do it once or twice myself too. However, I don't want you to make a habit of cutting grass. All right, so that's a no-no. All right, number 2, I want you to buy your time back. Buy your time back. Evan Pagan, one of his trainings, talks about advancing to the next level in your career by buying your time back. Don't be caught up in the minutia, the moving parts of your daily life. How do we do that? We hire people to do tasks. We hire people to do tasks. All right, so what do I do? What are the things that I cut out of my life? What I don't do, I never clean my own house. I don't want to see you cleaning your own house. You can easily sub it out, hire a cleaning company to come in. They're gonna change your sheets. We have a housekeeper that comes in once a week. She changes all the linens, cleans the bathrooms, cleans the living room, vacuums, mops, dusts all the lights, because I've got terrible allergies. They dust all the light fixtures, clean the glass doors, mirrors, windows, dust all the blinds, fans. What else? Toilets, tubs, showers, arrange all the little papers we got in a very nice stack, dust all the bookshelves off, and then she's gone. The reason I do that is because I can take that 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever it takes to clean my house. I can take that time back to myself, pay them to come in, and I can either spend time with my family, my wife, building a relationship with my wife, which is most important, or building a relationship with my children, or I can do some more work at that time, right? So I've got different options to do once I've bought that time back, letting somebody else clean my house. I used to hate working all week long because real estate investors, we don't work 40 hours, right? We might work 60 to 70 hours a week. Then I have to cut work, then I gotta go clean the house and wash clothes. I don't want to do that. I don't want to see you washing clothes. You can easily get all your clothes washed at the local laundromat. Just drop them off. They'll wash them for you, hang them up, iron them, fold them up, bring them back, and you're done. It's done instantly like that. I used to hate it. I've had to work all week and work with my family, cleaning the house, then go put clothes in the washing machine, take them out, put them in the dryer, time it, wait for it to be over, wash 2 or 3, 4 loads. And then I got to worry about the kids washing their clothes because they're not going to wash them right. You got to make sure they're doing it. So, but I still let them wash their own clothes. Don't get me wrong. The kids, they can do their own. They can fend for themselves. But I don't want to see you washing clothes. All right. So sub that stuff out. And if you have a problem, Dan Kennedy says we're only going to get 80% out of people that you hire. 80%. If you are a person that needs to have everything done perfectly, like your house cleaning or like washing your clothes or cutting your grass, or any service that you hire, get it out of your mind. Just take it out here, throw it away. You're not gonna get but 80% out of anybody that works. You can come and finish that little 10 to 15% because nothing's 100%, right? So expect 80% out of any worker. That's all you're gonna get. I remember my dad came home and he was mad at the job that my lawn guy did because he missed a few places in the yard. I'm like, Dad, you're only gonna get 80%. He got pissed. He got pissed. He didn't like the job. I'm like, you know, we can fix that last 20%. But remember, keep in mind, you're only going to get 80% out of anybody that works for you. Number 3, stop checking email. Stop checking email. It's killing you. I'm going to give you some stats. Inc.com says Adobe Systems did a study and shows that workers spend 30 hours a week checking email. 30 hours a week. Now, let's not forget, checking and answering email only accounted for some of this time. The main issue is that people are not only reading and typing email, they're simply checking to see if they had a new email. They're checking, you know how you open the phone up or you open your email and you want to see who's sending you an email? That back and forth interaction is killing us. Adobe Systems said we're spending 30 hours a week checking email. And another study from the University of California, Irvine, said that it takes over 20 minutes for us to get back on track after you check the email. So you're working, checking email. Okay, snap. Then I got to figure out what was I doing before I started checking that email. So we have to get off of our emails, guys. That's going to be number 3. Stop checking email. Damon John in his book said, in his new book, Rise and Grind. Well, I don't know if it's new or not, but it's a very good book. I recommend you to get it. There's a link below to get it. He says use email as an offense and not a defense. What does that mean? Offense. Offense is when we're doing something that benefits us. We're going out trying to score, right? So I recommend sending email when you need to, but not to constantly check email because it's going to kill you. If you've ever been through a day where you say, you know what, I got nothing done today. That used to be me. I got nothing done today because all I'm doing is just multitasking, constantly multitasking, checking email, voicemail, answering phone calls. Email, we'll get to the phone in a minute. Cut your email out. That's going to segue me into number 4. How do we stop checking email? We log out of our email. I know you're saying, Darren, I got the email on all the time. Very simple. Just simply log out of your email. Log out of the email. That way, it's impossible for you to check your email. Just like personally, I like to use my IRA for an investment account because I know I can't touch it. That's been my little tool or my crutch to create the savings that I've created over time to be able to buy and sell houses cash. So logging out of email takes away any probability of you checking your email. So number 4, log out of email. Number 5, turn off sound notifications on your phone. Turn off sound notifications on your phone. If you've had any interaction with me and you have sent me a text message, you might say, damn, Chris, why haven't you replied to my text? Because I've muted all notifications on my text or email. So if you email me or if you text me, I might not reply for an hour or 2 because I don't want to be distracted from the task at hand. The task at hand might be a $100,000-$300,000 deal that I'm working on, and I don't need to worry about a text message of somebody that's telling me, hey, I just dropped off something at your house, or did you want to go out for lunch later today? I don't need to deal with that at that second. That is not as important as the business that I'm doing. Okay, so we're gonna turn off sound notifications on our phone to stay focused to the task at hand. Turn them off, guys. I promise you it's gonna help you. All right, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gonna be 5. Was that number 6? Taking phone calls for houses. Taking phone calls possibly for rental property, or even for people that want to sell your house, like a lead that's coming in. A buy call is what we used to call it. So taking phone calls for houses, we don't do that. I'm going to show you my old flow chart. I'll bring it up for you. My flow chart. If you're in every box in your business, you're in trouble. Where you're taking phone calls. If you're the first line, if you're the first contact in your business, you are in trouble, guys. I don't want you to be the first contact. We don't take calls for people that want to sell us houses. We just don't. So we set up 800 phone numbers. I can't get into all that stuff now, but we have systems in place to take those phone calls, to pre-screen them, so we know what they're talking about by the time it's time for us to actually interact with them. All right. So don't take phone calls for houses. Number 7. We don't show properties. We do not show properties. We just put lock boxes on properties, right? So I'm going to kind of bounce back between 6 and 7. If you have a rental property, you don't want to be taking phone calls for prospective tenants, because they're going to just waste your time. I call them time vampires. They'll call you up. Hey, I'm just calling about this property. Matter of fact, I'm going to make a video of where I took about 20 phone calls from prospective tenants, and 99% of them were wasting my time. Matter of fact, yeah. 19 out of the 20 were wasting my time. They just want to call you and talk to you. I don't know why it is, but some people just want somebody to talk to, and they call you up to tell you their story about why they're in the situation that they're in. So we don't show properties. We put a lockbox on the house, and if somebody wants, after they've gone through our pre-screening, or perhaps if you have taken their call for a prospective tenant, you give them the lockbox code, let them go. Or sometimes I'll just put the key in the mailbox. I'll put the key under the front door mat. Go look at the house at your leisure. I know what you're saying. What if somebody what if somebody breaks in and steals something? The refrigerator, the stove, or the hot water heater, or what have you. You know what? I don't care. I really don't care. If somebody is that grimy to steal an appliance out of my house, a washing machine or a dryer, let them have it. Or I would just say, now the house doesn't come with that appliance. I just did a lease option the other day where the house just didn't even have a refrigerator. So if they're going to steal something, I would say, just like Ron LeGrand says, listen, if you stole one of my appliances, it's worth the $300 or $400 of my time doing other things, as opposed to driving to show houses to prospective tenants. We don't do that, because I'm here to tell you, if you try to set up times to meet people at your house, they will leave you hanging. The majority of the time. You say, I'm going to meet you there at 3 o'clock. They don't show, or they may show up late. I used to try to meet people there, going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to houses. Don't do that. I promise you it's going to save you so much time and headache, and it's going to take the emotion out of you showing, how they feel when they're walking through your house. You don't even want to be there. Listen, you want to see my house? Here's the code, or here's where the key is located. Go in, call me if you want an application. Call me if you want an application. That's all I want to do. All right, number 8. We work in increments of time. Make all your focus in increments of time. I'm going to say approximately 50-minute increments. We work in 50-minute increments. Tony Schwartz has a book called The Power of Full Engagement. The Power of Full Engagement, where he talks about the circadian rhythm. The circadian rhythm is nothing but the natural flow of life. Just like a 24-hour day, you've got the sun comes up and then it goes down at night. You got dark, daylight, nighttime. It's a nice little flow. And what he says is our bodies are programmed for maximum, productivity. Just like the day, when the sun comes up, you have a certain amount of time to be productive in the day. It's just recently that man has created light bulbs where we can work pretty much non-stop, right? You got people working third shift where they work all night. Our bodies weren't necessarily built for that. But on The Power of Full Engagement, he talks about this. He talks about the sleep-wake cycle. So it's just like the sun coming up. We're naturally wired to be awake in the daytime and asleep at night. So we exert energy in the day and we recover at night. Energy and recovery. Now, I want to give you a visual of what he was talking about with why this is important and how this works. I want you to visualize somebody working all the time. They're constantly working non-stop without the recovery period, where Tony Schwartz talks about. We're thinking about sprint runners, and I want you to visualize a short distance runner. We've got a long distance runner and we've got a long distance runner and a sprint short distance runner. Picture what they look like. If you look at the Olympics, the long distance guys are always real skinny and bony, but they can run for 5, 6, 7, 8 miles, 10 miles long distance, right? They're real bony. But the sprint short distance runners are what? They're always real cocky and buff. They're just muscular. Bam, boom. They got muscles everywhere. Short distance runners. I want you to be a short distance runner because look how the short distance runners look. They're cut, muscles everywhere. And the long distance runners are very puny, but they can go for a long time. Now, the reason we want to focus on short increments of work, because you can put more into that 50 minutes than you can into 8 hours. Look at the short distance runners, guys. They look much more healthy than the long distance guys, right? I would venture to say that they're 10 times more attractive, the females and the males. They're just buff, legs, bow. Everything looks better on them as opposed to the puny long distance guys. So the way this thing works is just like your heart. You can exert that energy. That 50 minutes is all I want you to do. Your heart beats. Boom, boom. How does your heart beat? Just like this, right? You've got rest, beat, rest, beat, rest, beat, rest, beat. That's going to be your heartbeat, guys. And I'm an amateur. I'm an amateur at the heart rate, and I'm an amateur at this whole sleep-wake cycle thing. But I'm gonna tell you how it has benefited me. I've written 2 books. You can download them there, and I've written 2 books using this strategy. And you can download my full 10 audio training, Ninja Negotiating audio. So I put this into practice, and it works for me. All right. So just like your heart exerts that maximum energy, it needs to rest. Maximum energy, rest. Maximum energy, rest. So I want you to exert that maximum energy because you're going to get more out of your day. 50 minutes, rest. 50 minutes on one thing. All right. Okay. Yes, I wrote my books doing that strategy. The next thing, number 9. Number 9 is going to be do the hardest thing first in the morning. Do the hardest thing first in the morning. Brian Tracy talks about eating that frog, right? If you had to eat a frog every day, do it the first thing in the morning, eat that frog, because everything else for the remainder of the day will be easier than eating a frog, right? Everything else is easier than eating a frog, I promise you. Every day, I write in the morning around 6:30. I'm an author now. I consider myself an author. It's amazing. I cannot believe that I'm actually writing books now. Every day I write at 6:30, 6:40 in the morning. That's the hardest thing for me to do, but it allows me to crank out my monthly newsletter. Every month I've got a newsletter that goes out to my subscribers, and it works for me. So do the hardest thing first in the morning. All right, time wasters. Let's see, we need to focus on one thing at a time. Focus on one thing at a time. I just had a closing yesterday, and I've been focusing on this closing for a full week. People have been asking me to do certain things, but I focused getting that one thing, and now it's closed. So you don't want to have too many things going on at once. Multitasking is going to kill you. We're going to focus on one thing at a time. And my favorite, one of my favorites, get one of these little things here. You see, I even have it as I'm doing a video with you. Set up a timer for work. Set up a timer for work. This is going to help you focus on your 50-minute work increments. All right, so you set it up here. You start working, and you've got the timer that goes off at 50 minutes. Why does this work so well? Because your brain subliminally knows that in 50 minutes, you're going to get a break. You're going to get to treat yourself and do what? Recover. Recover, just like your heart. Boom, boom. Your heart's recovering right there. Your heart is doing nothing. It's pumped the blood and it's waiting for that next pump, okay? So this is so crucial, and it's a beautiful analogy when you think about how hard the heart works, strongest muscle in the body, right? Works rest. Works, rest. I love it, guys. I love it. I get chills when I think about it. The last one, number 12. Get up a little earlier. Just get up a little earlier. I'm not saying you gotta be like me. You do whatever you want, but I'm up at 6 o'clock every day. I love my little 10-minute blurb in the morning from Steve Harvey. Really helps me get going because he's already up, I don't know what time. But the man gives me a laugh in the morning, and he gives me some scripture, some good word, some word from the good book. I love to hear that stuff, praying about God. You know, I'm a believer. I'm not asking you to be a believer. However, getting up a little early in the morning, I promise you, will allow you to get more things done. So I'm up around 5:45. I get my little time. I drink my water. You got to get your water done, because if you feel groggy when you wake up in the morning because your body's dehydrated, get that water in there. You'll feel a lot better, I promise you. So getting up a little earlier is going to help you get more things done. Remember, I'm doing the newsletter. I'm an author, writing books, recording different audio trainings to give to you to help you with your real estate investing career. So that is going to be my 12 deadly time wasters of real estate investors. Now listen, implement some of this stuff. Don't just look at my video and say, yeah, that was good. That was good. I'm here to uplift my community's financial literacy through real estate investing. That is my goal. So if I can help you, shoot us an email. If you got any questions, comment below. Subscribe to my channel. I hope I have brought you a little bit of wisdom that I've learned since 2004. This is Chris Haskins signing off with the realestateroundup.com. I will see you next time. Peace.
Woo!